Welcome and thanks for staying with us on Asset Television. This is Issues of the Moment, and I am Sunday Ayami. Today, I have the privilege of hosting Mr. Robert Madaki, one of the candidates to the position of chairmanship in Amac Area Council. He's here, he's going to tell us a number of issues, what he's going to do if he becomes the chairman of Amac, and how he's going to do even better than those that preceded him. So I will allow him now to tell us a little bit about himself. Mr. Robert, you are welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me for your program. My name is Robert Madaki. I'm running for the office of the chairman of Amac under the banner of Young Progressive Party, and the election holds on the 21st of February 2026. And I've been living in Abuja for the past 20 years, and we have all seen Abuja metamorphose, into what it is right now, and we've seen the various stages that has happened. And the reason why I'm running is that I'm out here to run. It's time to stop complaining, but to get into the race and to get into those places where we can effect meaningful change and development within the FCT. FCT has been lacking behind, for many years in the area of development, and it is my candid opinion that FCT local government administration is still back in the 80s, and so we need to bring it up to date. We need to bring it up to par. FCT is meant to be the poster child. Amac is meant to be a poster child for local government administration in Nigeria, but unfortunately, that is not the case as we speak. Thank you, sir.
Okay, now, just tell me exactly, in fact, you are addressing your Amac people now.
Yes.
What exactly inspires you into the race? What have you seen that you think you will do that had not been done?
Okay, so my approach to Amac elections and the office of the chairman of Amac is an approach that is entrenched in community development. Coming from my background in not just community development, but actually international development. Over the past more than 10 years, I've been working in that sector, not just within Nigeria, but across West Africa. And I see a common theme, in politics, in people vying for office. And people vie for office, with the intent, to either go have a particular party dominate the system, or go and make money and do other things, or other considerations are there. But my approach is a humanitarian approach to this issue. I believe that the current situation with Nigeria requires a humanitarian approach to governance, not just because it's an emergency situation. It's not something that is normal, to have the kind of issues we have within Nigeria, especially with special reference to Amac. Now, if you look at Amac, for example, we are dealing with issues that a local government, an area council of this caliber shouldn't be dealing with at this time. Being the seat of government, being the landlord of the president and most of the senators, House of Reps, and key government institutions. Amac is in a position, to do much more than it's doing right now. But the system needs to be rejigged. So, and our purpose of coming out there is to rescue Amac from its current state of decay.
Now, one of these things, local government exists or developed by internal revenue generation.
Yes, sir.
And Amac's case is somehow complex.
Yes, sir.
Because one, they interface with FCDA and
yes.
the rest. So they like tenement rate, Amac collects tenement rate,
yes,
FCDA collects. How are you going to harmonize all these things and make sure that at least you have a smooth sail when you get there?
So yes, we know that there are some ambiguity with regards to roles and functions of both Amac and the FCT. But there are statutory responsibilities that the local government has, and any action of local government administration should be guided by these statutory responsibilities and not any other consideration like party affiliation and other things that sometimes we see play out within administration of a local government in Amac. So we are guided by the statutory responsibility of the local government. Now, we understand also that there are areas in which the local government may not have the statutory coverage, but the local government can act as a pressure point, because actually the local government in administration of FCT, whether it's from top to bottom, the local government is the one that represents the interests of the people of Amac.
Exactly.
So there is a role that local government has to play, even in areas where they do not have the statutory role or responsibility to perform.
No, there are some areas in Amac here.
Yes,
if you go to those areas,
yes,
if they tell you this is Amac, you will not believe it.
very true.
Compared to what you have at the city center, like Metama, Wusetu, and the rest of the, but you go to the hinterland within Amac, you see a different thing. And those people only remember during voting, and after voting, it's gone.
Yes, so it's one of the major challenges that we have seen, in moving around Amac and in all my years within the FCT, and I move from one part of the city to the other. There are places that are very rural in Amac, within the city, and it will amaze you to find those places. Sometimes are even close to the city center,
Yes.
by proximity. So, and those areas now, we erroneously.
I will give you an instance. If you go to Durumi, for
Yes, sir.
instance,
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
it's as if you are not in Amac.
Very true. And when you have places like that, we erroneously term them as slums, which is also a term that has been used or has been abused.
Yes.
Those areas are simply underdeveloped areas. When you go to Abuja metropolis, and the local government Amac is supposed to be one of the most developed local governments in Africa. When you go to places like Kenya, and you go to places like South Africa and some other African countries, they are leading the way, in inner city development, in the area of developing slums into cities, so-called slums. The reason why they are slums is because they don't have infrastructure. Those areas have been neglected. If there was good infrastructure, the areas would have also grown up and developed like other areas where you have good infrastructure and development. Remembering that there are people that are indigenous to the city, and most of those so-called slums actually are villages that have not evolved beyond what they were from the onset. And there are settlements for these villagers or these city dwellers who have lost their original lands, to development. So you have to look at it. You cannot use. They say if the only tool you have is a hammer, that you tend to see every problem as a nail. So the issue with Amac is a multi-dimensional issue that has to be tackled from different angles so that we don't worsen the situation.
I recall some years back,
Yes, sir.
Amac used to be very, very safe.
Yes, sir.
But now miscreants have taken over, because late night movements now, you will be encountered by all these people. Security-wise, how are you going to make sure that Amac is safe for all residents wherever they are, whether in the slum or in the city center?
Okay, so with regards to the issue of security, we understand that in Nigeria right now, we do not have state policing, the way, and this has been advocated
it's been advocated.
It's been advocated for. However, the role of local government in security cannot be overemphasized. Every local government structure has a security apparatus or security system that is attached to it, and with every system, you are able to analyze which areas you have issues of certain kinds of crimes. So you have data and information. That information, number one, local government administration is supposed to be the primary source of information for citizenry with regards to issues around security. Local government is supposed to lead the interface between the security agencies and the people of the local government or the area council, with the intent of ensuring that there is citizenship participation in this thing. Because if you do not have a buy-in from the citizens, you cannot adequately police the Amac or FCT. You need a buy-in, and that is what is lacking. That there is no buy-in, there is a disconnect between the local government, the people, the role of the people in security, the role of the local government in security. So there is so much that local government can do, but first of all, it has to start in the area of citizenship engagement.
Now, when we are talking about security now, because I remember a one-time chairman of Amac, Candido,
yes.
once had a security outfit,
Yes, sir.
which others came and dismantled.
Yes, sir.
So what are you going to do in this? Are you going to resurrect, or you continue from where others dismantled it?
Okay, so actually within Amac, if you go to different area councils, or I mean different wards within Amac, you have 12 wards within Amac. Now within those 12 wards, you move around, you see what we call a JTF kind of situation. So now that kind of outfit, like you have vigilantes and other groups that we can actually interface with and actually structure. Now, what happened with Candido's, what he set up in those days was that the structure did not support continuity. So, and if you do not have a buy-in from whoever is coming in, they were not able to perpetuate it, because any such structure has to be supported. There has to be a budget attached to it. There has to be personnel that are trained to manage those systems. So, if the system is not settled in terms of its foundational structure, it is difficult to have it continue. But within the local government, within the area councils, within Amac itself, and its various wards, there are actual groups, that help secure the environment. And now those groups are meant to be people who are familiar with the environment, not strangers from other places. So within the JTF system, yes, there are issues, but even those issues are not issues that are difficult to solve or come true. But it is also good that the local government, yes, has some kind of outfit that helps or assists the police, and the security forces to ensure that they achieve their mandate.
No, still on security now,
yes.
But because if you go to some of these parks,
yes,
around within Amac,
yes,
you see all these people. They say Amac rate, all this, and some of them can even remove your plate number,
yes,
or your side mirror and whatever. So how are you going to do now to be able to cushion these things so that at least people living in the city center and the environs within Amac will have some peace?
Okay, so the issue, yes, this issue is an ongoing issue, and we know the kind of devastation it has caused in recent time with the accident in Mabushi, and the other incident, and the other incident there was one incident in Yanya Axis, and there are other undocumented incidences that have happened within Amac. Truly, yes, the issue of people, parading as Amac security or Amac enforcement agents, they are trying to enforce tax systems or revenue collection. Now, there is a line that is blurred within revenue collection and enforcement of traffic rules and regulations. So now, what Amac would need, is to be restructured, to provide services that are clearly defined. For example, if you go to Lagos or you go to Kaduna, for example, in Lagos you have LASMA, in Kaduna you have Castella. So those are agencies that are tasked with doing certain particular functions. They are defined, they are clear. We understand what their roles are. So area of tax, there is the aspect of enforcement of a law or statutory responsibility, and then there is the area of the collection of the taxes. It shouldn't be that is on the street that somebody is harassing a commuter, to pay the fines and all that. So those things need to be structured in the area of personnel, properly trained personnel, and also provide proper orientation for these people, and even for the populace. Now, if you are paying taxes, are these multiple taxes? Because sometimes these taxes are replicated across different structures within Amac. So one of the areas that we know that we are going to work on and we intend to restructure is the area of tax collection. And the tax administration within Amac has to be reviewed, to provide two major things: clarity. And under clarity, we talk about accountability, and the other aspect of it is efficiency. That whatever service they are meant to be doing, that this service they are efficient in it. But the area of accountability means that if you are collecting taxes, what are these taxes going into? Who handles them? What is the revenue profile of Amac every day, every month, every week, and annually? Those kinds of things. Those are the things that you have to bring in accountability first. That kind of thuggery that we see on the road is a product of lack of accountability that we have within the system, that anybody can just wake up, wear a t-shirt and stand on the road and do whatever they do. And then when there is a problem, they all run away.
Assuming you are in a rally now,
yes, sir,
and you have your supporters and others,
yes, sir,
in that rally, what will you tell them? Like you are selling yourself to the people now, what will you exactly tell them?
So what I would tell them basically is that it is time for the citizens of Amac, for the inhabitants of Amac, registered voters of Amac, to rise up and do the needful of bringing change to Amac, because Amac in the last few...
Of course, you have to remember your party.
Yes, Amac in the last few electoral circles, have made decisions. Those decisions have worsened the state of the city. And the unfortunate thing is that as of last election circle, just over 6.5% of the eligible voters within Amac came out to vote. That is serious voter apathy. We do not have the right to complain if we do not come out and do something about what we are seeing now. So whatever rot we have in this system is a product of the people not coming out to do or perform their civic responsibilities.
Well, finally now, let me, what would be the role of women in your government?
So the role of, YPP, Young Progressive Party, has set a template for women participation in local government administration. If you come to the FCT, for example, the state chair, the state chair is male, but the vice is female. If you go to the federal, that's the national, you have the national chairman, who is a male. Then you also have a female as the national vice chairperson of the party. So that one for us is paramount, and it's very important that women participation in electoral processes, either as candidates, or key actors within the system, is very important. Some of our most valuable stakeholders within YPP, and are women. So for us, it is foundational that women have to participate. After all, they constitute a major demography, portion of demography in Nigeria. Okay,
before I let you go, let's go a little bit national now, because Nigeria, from what we see in the last couple of weeks and months, is moving towards a one-party state. As a politician that you are, how do you feel about this?
So and I'm going to say this for posterity, so that when in maybe years to come, or months to come, we'll look back at this statement that is made today. It appears to be so on the surface, but it's not actually going to pan out like that, because what is happening is that we have old structures of political party and the systems that they are engaged. Those structures are dying. It's a passing phase in Nigeria. The awareness and the consciousness has gone beyond one-party system. People are beginning to realize that they have power and they can come out and make a decision and make a choice. 2027 would be a huge surprise for many. There are parties that are regarded as fringe parties, like YPP, that will come out and shine in 2027. So that the whole idea of one-party state is a group of executives in different states who are moving from one place to the other to secure their future. Does not represent the aspiration of the people.
The average
Nigerian. So they can do anything within the state, as long as they empower. But when it comes to that national election, federal election, the case is going to be different.
All right, Mr. Madaki, it's nice having you in our studio.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Sonda Yami, and the program has been My Issues of the Moment. And I have been speaking with Amac Chairmanship candidate come 2026, February. Go out there and vote. He's Young Progressive Party chairmanship aspirant in Amac. Have a nice day, and the rest of the programs continue.